In this episode, we keep it close to home while checking out some of the most unique and standout diners Central Jersey has to offer. Welcome back to the Jersey Diner Showdown. If you're new around here, for starters, go check out part 1. Don't worry, I'll wait. If you're new here, my husband and I are visiting every county in the state to visit their top diner to determine what the best diner in the diner capital of the world actually is. In our last episode, we crowned Cumberland County's own Maurice River Diner as the champion of the South Division. And in this one, we will be taking on my home region, Central. For the purposes of this competition, Central New Jersey consists of 5 counties: Mercer, Hunterdon, Somerset, Middlesex, and Union. As a quick recap, diners have been selected based on review scores, word-of-mouth recommendations, local notoriety, and the blessing of Guy Fieri and diners, drive-ins, and dives. Each diner will be scored out of 5 in 4 categories: food, ambiance, cost, and bonus. The diner with the highest score in this division will go on to the final 4 to see who will become the best diner in New Jersey. Since we currently live in Central Jersey, it made more sense to space these visits out over a couple of days rather than a full-fledged weekend road trip. It was better for our gas mileage and our sanity, which would come into question later. With that being said, let's take our first visit this trip to Somerset County's own Time to Eat Diner. Our first stop takes us to Somerset County and the Time to Eat Diner in Bridgewater. I grew up very locally, so going here was like a homecoming. I spent many late nights here in high school and college, sharing a plate of disco fries and being wistful in the way only a suburban kid at 2 a.m. can. It was exceptionally busy for a Friday night, but we were seated promptly. I was actually nervous to take much footage because of how busy it was, but when we were seated, the familiar menu held a few surprises. Unlike the good majority of Jersey diners, this one has a significant Polish section, as opposed to the traditional Greek. Visually, the diner has a lot of wood paneling on the interior, which made me feel like I was kind of on a boat. Michael ordered pigs in a blanket, the breakfast version, and I ordered the dinner special Cuban panini, which came with a bowl of seafood bisque soup. This soup alone is the reason I wanted to come on a Friday, and it did not disappoint. This was our first stop on the whole Diner Showdown endeavor, and it felt like we were off to a very good start.
Good stuff.
I love this soup, so much so that years ago I bought an entire quart of it to take home. It is truly delicious. When our entrees arrived, Michael's pigs in a blanket were pretty good. Normal breakfast sausage and fluffy pancakes, no complaints. However, my Cuban sandwich was so flavorless I had to have Michael try it and confirm, because I legitimately thought I may have developed COVID in the interim. It tasted like nothing. The pork was juicy, but it lacked any variety.
Piggy! I'm going. Ooh, that's a long pull.
Cheese pull.
Very guy thing. Yeah. Pretty good. All right, cool.
What they lacked in entree, though, was made up for in dessert. We got a slice of cannoli cheesecake, which was rich, creamy, and decadent. Easily one of the best desserts we've had at this point. The pastry selection here is small, but mighty.
I'm going now. Real good. All right.
Final scores. Food, 3. Ambiance, 3. Cost, 4. Bonus, 3, for a final score of 13 out of 20. Later that same weekend, we traveled to Middlesex County for our next stop. Multiple coworkers recommended the Skylark Diner in Edison, and partnered with this being a Triple D location, we knew it was a must. The Skylark has an incredible atmosphere, very atomic age, bright, cheery, and tons of neon, or at least LEDs emulating such. There was a troop of Girl Scouts selling cookies in the foyer, which is always a good sign for me, and of course I bought a box. The Skylark is one of the first in a series I'm calling Diner in name only. It's definitely an elevated sort of eating establishment, more than a bit bougie, with a cocktail menu and reduced food menu. The menu itself is seasonally rotated, a bit limited, but the dishes on offer sounded incredible. I got an order of chorizo biscuits and gravy, served with sunny-side-up eggs, and Carolina grits, which had ham and cheese inside. Michael had a French dip with fries. My biscuits and gravy were one of the most delicious meals I've ever had, which made South Jersey's disappointment from the last episode hurt even more. The biscuits were fluffy, the gravy was seasoned beautifully, and the slight spice from the chorizo didn't overpower anything. Eggs were eggs. The grits were just a bit unusual. I think if they'd been made with country ham instead of just regular ham, they'd have been a lot better, but they were definitely unique.
All right, filming now. Real good.
Michael's sandwich was very good too. The jus was seasoned nicely, the roast beef wasn't dry, but the fries were nothing to write home about. We also pivoted slightly with this one. All of the desserts were best served in person, so we ordered the Brookie skillet with vanilla ice cream. It was rich, decadent, and absolutely delicious. Now for the elephant in the room. We were seated after about 15 minutes, but waited quite some time for just about everything. Normally I don't let service affect scores much, but the diner was pretty dead for a Sunday afternoon with no football. We had to flag down a completely different server in order to be able to get silverware after we'd gotten our food. All total, we were there for nearly 3 hours, which is a little much. I don't know the reasoning, but it was kind of a huge bummer. Also, with bouginess comes upcharge, and this was one of the most expensive diners we've been to thus yet. Final score: food, 5, ambiance, 3, cost, 2, bonus, 2.5, for a final score of 13.5 out of 20. A week later, the third stop on our Central Jersey tour was Union County's Bayway Diner, or more specifically, Johnny Prince's famous Bayway Diner. The Bayway is truly famous insomuch that it appeared on the very first episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives as the very first diner ever featured. The Bayway is an exception to some of our rules. For one, it's more of a luncheonette than a full diner and closes at 3 p.m. on most days. However, for star power alone, we knew it was worth it, and boy would we be proven correct. The Bayway is an old dining car style diner with 8 single counter seats, though they do offer outdoor seating. You can see the griddle behind the counter, and it is cramped but cozy and inviting. There was a tiny TV playing those weird shows they play instead of Saturday morning cartoons on our visit, and the waitstaff were super friendly and welcoming. Though the menu was seemingly small, there was a large selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites. The diner opens at 5 a.m. every weekday to serve the workers at the local tank farm, and having been to that very tank farm for work, I know this place is well loved. Our server suggested I try the cream of broccoli soup, which I did with a grilled cheese and bacon sandwich on Texas toast. Michael got a pork roll and cheese sandwich with potato. For starters, if they have this soup on offer when you go, get it. It was delicious, fresh, and creamy. Not a hint of can to be found. The grilled cheese was a sleeper hit too, simultaneously crispy and gooey, and the bacon was cooked perfectly. Michael's sandwich actually came with the breakfast potatoes on it, which was a surprising but welcome addition, and just pushed it over the edge to excellence.
You have any of your sandwich?
I will. On top of that, it was barely $20 for us to get food. An icon, truly. Dessert was a slice of iced lemon pound cake, which was moist and delicious. Barely a miss. Our server suggested that next time we come back, we should try the burgers, and boy, I hope there's a next time on this one. Final score: food, 4.5, ambiance, 4, cost, 5, bonus, 4, for a total score of 17.5 out of 20. The very next day, we headed out to Hunterdon County. Now, many of you might be thinking that we'd be hitting up the infamous Clinton Station Diner, one of the sole remaining 24-hour joints, and known for its over-the-top billboards advertising the ham bigger. But after reading numerous reports of overpiled trash cans, mediocre food, and less than sanitary conditions, we decided instead to visit another classic, at least in my mind, the Spinning Wheel Diner in Lebanon, New Jersey. This diner has a very diner feel to it, extremely chromed out, high ceilings in the vestibule, and multiple dining sections. The Spinning Wheel opened in 1987, and the local competition has come and gone. It has stayed the test of time. Though it was a Sunday morning, we were seated promptly, but I definitely felt this guy judging me every time I attempted to film anything. It was Michael's turn for lunch, so he ordered twin chili dogs with a bowl of matzo ball soup. For my breakfast, I got a diner standard, 2 eggs sunny side up with toast, sausage, and home fries. The real winner here were the chili dogs. 2 all-beef hot dogs, plenty of beans in the chili, and the spice level was perfect. The fries were good and crisp, and the soup was good but unremarkable. I can't believe you're fork and knifing your hot dog.
I don't see any other way to go.
Looks good though. Nice. My eggs were spot on, toast even more so, and the home fries were crisp and tasty. Sausage was seasoned well, but not overly salty.
There's your egg. You can cut and choose this as you want. You're gonna have to work on that. Ah, there you go.
The reason I get egg.
All right.
Prices were very reasonable considering the portions. I sort of panic ordered dessert, and the plain cheesecake was just fine. Nothing to really write home about, but good enough. It's alright.
It's a nice creamy cheesecake.
Final score. Food, 3.5. Ambiance, 3. Cost, 4. Bonus, 2.5. For a grand total of 13 out of 20. With a trip to South Jersey in between, we hit up our final establishment, Mercer County's Heightstown Diner, after work one day, since Michael's day job isn't too terribly far. Heightstown is our 3rd Triple D location in this episode, appearing in the same episode as the Skylark. I remember seeing the Skylark, but I have no recollection of seeing the Heightstown. Weird. The diner is an extended dining car style with booths and counter seats, and an extended dining area around the corner. It was dolled up to the nines for Valentine's Day, which was nice, but otherwise felt pretty standard. The Heightstown is apparently known for its corned beef hash, but neither of us liked that, so we passed. The menu was substantial with some adventurous options and impressive holiday specials. The diner wasn't super busy, but the clientele and staff alike were very friendly. Michael ordered the Godfather sandwich, which was breaded chicken, bacon, mozzarella cheese, and vodka sauce with fries and a cup of matzo ball soup. I got another standard breakfast of sunny side up eggs with toast, home fries, pork roll, and a side of grits. Keep in mind that there were like 2 to 3 weeks between visiting the spinning wheel in the Heightstown, for science. Michael's sandwich was the real showstopper here. The chicken was diced, very saucy. It was served in a torpedo roll, crusty on the outside and soft on the inside, and very durable.
That's good.
Fries were average, and the soup desperately needed salt. My eggy breakfast was pretty good. Eggs were fine, home fries needed salt, and the grits, you guessed it, they needed salt too. They were, however, very creamy, which was very nice.
All right. Well, I wasn't sure what action shot to get.
Okay.
Okay. Good potatoes.
Alright.
All right. And get that toast and that egg there.
No, I don't want another potato.
Because you're very hungry.
Yes.
The action shot.
Yeah, toast tidbits.
Woo. All right.
Pretty good. For dessert, we took a piece of tres leches cake home to go, which was moist, flavorful, and perfectly sweet. Mmm. Ooh. That's nice.
Let's see. Just a goop. That's really good.
That's really good.
Wow. Good job.
That might be one of the better desserts we've gotten.
It absolutely is. Yummy.
It was a nice change of pace from the pretty standard diner desserts we'd been seeing, too. Price was more than reasonable. Final score? Food, 3. Ambiance, 3.5. Cost, 4. Bonus, 4. For a total of 14.5 out of 20. And now the final tallies. The Time to Eat Diner, 13 out of 20. The Skylark Diner, 13.5 out of 20. The Bayway Diner, 17.5 out of 20. The Spinning Wheel Diner, 13 out of 20. And the Heightstown Diner, 14.5 out of 20. Our winner is the Bayway Diner. And with that, our Central Jersey champions are Johnny Prince's famous Bayway Diner. It joins the Maurice River Diner in one of our final 4 diner slots. Stay tuned for the next episode where we take a marathon 7-diner weekend trip to determine what is the best diner in all of North Jersey.